outstanding performance. It's a very appropriate performance with this winter we're having because we might be wearing these mittens till June. So be ready. It is very appropriate. Last year at this time, I think it was already in the 50s, so we haven't seen that yet this year. So I hope you enjoy this performance. One note, this is our first time on stage all together because with a morning and an afternoon class, we didn't get a chance to practice together. But I know, judging from the morning practices and the afternoon practices, this is going to be outstanding. So I hope you enjoy our show tonight. There was a little boy named Nicky that lived with his grandmother and grandfather in the woods. Nicky's grandmother, whom he called Baba, used to knit him sweaters and socks and other clothing. One day, Nicky asked Baba to make him some brand new mittens that were white like the snow. So he said, mittens, but she did not think that white was a good choice for a color. She was afraid that Nicky would lose them in the snow and wouldn't be able to find them again. So Baba and his grandfather said, course, Nicky got his way. Baba did make him a new pair of mittens that was pure white. So Baba gave him the mittens, and Nicky ran out to play in the snow. Sure enough, just as Baba had said, he soon dropped one of his mittens. Nicky walked away from it and never even noticed that it was missing. He was just too excited about the beautiful sparkling snow, and the snowflakes were falling all around. Now, it was very cold outside. By and by, along came two rabbits and a raccoon. They were very cold, and when they saw the mitten, they thought it would make a nice, warm home. So they crawled into the mitten together to stay warm. Soon, along came a wolf, a fox, and a lion. They saw that warm mitten, and they decided that it would make a nice warm home. So they asked the rabbits and raccoon to let them in. But the rabbits and the raccoon did not think there was room for any more animals in the mitten, and they said, well, the rabbit and the raccoon did not want to share the mitten, but when they saw those big teeth, they moved over. So the wolf, the lion, and the fox climbed inside. And the mitten was stretched out just about as far as it can go. Soon along came a bear that was out for a walk in the woods. He was very cold, and when he saw that warm mitten, he wanted in too. Well, the mitten was really very crowded by now, and the animals knew it couldn't possibly hold much more. So they said, well, the rabbits, the raccoon, the fox, the lion, and the wolf didn't think that there would be room for a bear. But when they saw those claws and teeth, they knew they had to make room somehow. So the bear went inside the mitten. The mitten was pulled and stretched to many times its size. Steam rose from the mitten as the animals huddled together inside. But still, Baba's good knitting held fast. By and by, along came a mouse. She was a very small mouse, and she was very cold. When she saw that warm mitten, she wanted to get inside too, so she said, the animals did not want to let anyone else in, so they said, the poor little mouse just shivered and stared at them sadly. The animals looked at that little tiny mouse and just rolled their eyes. The bear looked at the wolf. The wolf looked at the fox. The fox looked at the lion. The lion looked at the raccoon. And the raccoon looked at the rabbit. Then they all let out a heavy sigh and moved over just enough to let the mouse squeeze in. And then something happened. And so that was the end of Nicky's mitten. When he went home that night, he had to tell Baba that he had lost it just as she said. And of course, he never did find it again. Teachers and myself would like to thank Mrs. Cosin, Mrs. Berry for their help, and Mrs. Stelter, if they could please come forward and take a bow. Mr. Jakubowski, Mr. Passarello, Mr. DiStefano, and Mr. Mealy, our custodians, for setting up the gym and cleaning the stage for us. We also want to thank the BPC for supporting the kindergarten program and providing the sound and the lights for this program. Thank you. BPC, there is a meeting tonight at 7 o'clock, so you can make it a great night and stay for the meeting. And there's Zumba at 8 o'clock following the BPC meeting. Lastly, I would like to thank our two amazing kindergarten teachers, Miss Groh and Mrs. Ryan.
For all of his help and support.
Like always, I have the easy job. When you have two great kindergarten teachers that you trust that are going to do an amazing job, it makes my job a lot easier because they're so great. The biggest hand, though, goes to all of our kindergartners. Awesome job. Thank you for coming out tonight. One thing on dismissal, our kindergarten teachers are going to bring them back to the classrooms. Please, please, please do not leave the gym while they're trying to get them back, because there are many of us here, and if we all flood out to the hallways, the kindergartners will not make it back safely. So we have about 5 minutes. If anybody would like to stand up and do a dance for us, that would be great. But we are going to let them dismiss before I dismiss all the parents.
I love it.